iPhone clones made from cheap components and a modified version of Android made to look like iOS are nothing new, but one of the latest iPhone 6 knockoffs out of China could be the very first that one-ups Apple at its own game. The Dakele 3, also known as the Big Cola 3, claims to have the sapphire screen that the iPhone 6 was rumored to get early on, an 8-core 1.7GHz MediaTek processor, and a whopping 3GB of RAM. Now those are all faster than the iPhone 6, which only has a dual-core 1.4GHz A8 processor and only 1GB of RAM. Now to be fair, other flagship phones have had better specs on paper than the iPhone for years now, but Apple has always done a notable job of designing iOS to squeeze tons of performance out of its hardware. With that said, the Big Cola 3 also does have a number of other improvements over the iPhone. For example, it boasts a 5-inch screen with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, which gives it a pixel density much higher than the iPhone 6 pixel density of 326 pixels per inch. It also has a 13-megapixel main camera and an 8-megapixel selfie cam, and also it doesn't protrude from the back as much as the shooter on the iPhone 6 does. With that said, a knockoff is still a knockoff, and specs on paper don't tell us too much about how this phone will perform. Not to mention that it is still an Android phone that's going to have a hard time accessing your Apple account, so this is just all an elaborate game of make-believe or projecting a certain consumer image. With that said, the Big Cola 3 is also a much better deal than the iPhone. It's only about $240, which is almost 3 times cheaper than the iPhone 6 is. So with that said, if you're looking for a phone that you can impress your friends with without spending a ton of money on, the Big Cola 3 could be your best bet. But anyways, let me know what you think of this iPhone 6 knockoff in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you're interested by this phone, and I will see you next time.